welcome to Season 4, Episode 7 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, I've got a live comm of the home match against MK Dons in League 2. And that's right, MK Dons are battling for survival from the Football League. Sorry if you're an MK Dons fan. Actually, no, I'm not. Anyway, let's have a look to see what's been going on over the course of the last month. Including transfer window time, and there have been a couple of comings and goings from the club. But starting things off, this is where we were in the last episode. We beat Leyton Orient 1-0 at home thanks to a Lee Novak goal, scoring on his first game as a permanent signing at the club. We then went away to Rochdale and we lost 2-1. A Cameron Gale own goal as well, all the goals in the first half. It didn't really go well. And Anton Forrester got injured as well. And this was the start of a month of injuries to our forwards, and we really have sort of stuttered in the goal scoring over the course of this month. As emphasised by losing 1-0 at home to Notts County. We lost both of our normal strikers of Forrester and Novak, so we had to play Marcus Haber and Declan McManus up front. They were not particularly effective, as you can see by their ratings and the fact that we didn't have a shot on target in the entire game. That being said, Notts County only had one, but unfortunately they scored from it. As you can see, still experimenting with doing the team talks, and I did use the aggressive team talk for the first time after that match, and it seemed to work. Next game, we dropped Haber and brought Suleimani Koulibaly in to go up alongside Declan McManus. They both scored. Ben Tilney, man of the match performance, creating both of the goals, playing really, really well. But we actually looked like a really, really good side in this match, so clearly shouting at my players had a significant impact. And then we won again in the next game away to Dagenham and Redbridge. Koulibaly scoring for the second game in a row, also picking up the man of the match awards. Finally, my player, my man who I want to do well at the club, looks like he's starting to come good for us, which is all good. And then we went away to Luton and we lost 1-0. And the strikers didn't really play well. And once again, we didn't have a shot on target. But we made up for it at home to Forest Green. Lee Novak coming back into the side. He scored. Koulibaly got an assist. Tilney was excellent again, picking up a goal and again playing really, really well. Forest Green are bottom of the league though, so it's not the ideal game to judge. We did start experimenting with tweaking some team instructions in this match. We've gone all season without using any at the moment. I started off by trying dropping deeper, and then as the game went on, I switched it up and tried some additional closing down and preventing short goalkeeper distribution. It's hard to say what impact it had on the game because Forest Green are a really, really poor side, but we did dominate the match, which was nice to see. We've then decided right at the last minute to get involved in the transfer window on deadline day, just because I got an itchy checkbook. Obviously I've got all this money to spend. We've only spent money on Lee Novak, and that was, although it's gone through this transfer window, it was really arranged back in early October. So I wanted to spend some money. It's been a bit of a struggle. Finally identified some players, but in order to be able to sign them, I need to get some players out of the club because we're pretty much maxed out on our wage budget. So first option we tried to get rid of was George Glendon. He signed with quite a lot of hope at the start of the season, but just hasn't been able to get into the side. He's only started 4 games. And he's earning too much money. Tried to get rid of him, but he did not want to go to either Fleetwood or Wrexham, so he's decided to stay. Seamus Keneally has also decided to stay. He was at the club when I arrived. He's not even appeared on the bench for me this season. I have no intention of playing him at any point. He's just not good enough for us. He's earning £725 a week, but apparently Wycombe weren't offering him that much, so he's decided not to go there. We were able to bring in a couple of players though. Before we let anybody go, purely because they were so good and would massively improve our team. So the board have let me go about £3,000 over my wage budget, which is unusual. You're not usually allowed to do that kind of thing. We did try and sign a striker a couple of weeks ago who would have made a real difference. Connor Washington, he ended up going to Luton. He's another current posh player in real life. And the thought of him and Novak up front would be fantastic, but they wouldn't let us pay him the money he wanted, so he's gone to Luton. But they did let us sign these 2 players. So the first one is Quaid Taylor. He's a centre-back. Well, they're both centre-backs, actually. You probably think I'm mental. I just like signing defenders. Quade Taylor's coming from Blackpool for 130,000. He has played every game for Blackpool in League Two this season. Looks like a very, very good defender for this level. He can come in and play alongside the Peg and alongside George Ray. He's the other player I've bought in. £96,000 signing from Crewe. He's played every game for Crewe in this division this season. Both of them are 25 as well, so they've got plenty of opportunity to get better. And George Ray looks really, really, really good. If I thought Taylor was good, this guy's even better, and he's going to be a star. He's got captain written all over him, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, really happy to bring in both of those players. James Demetriou decided he didn't want to go to Yeovil though, so we still couldn't get people off the wage budget. We finally did get rid of a player though. Marcus Haber, after his disappointing performance earlier in the month and not really featuring for the rest of the season, has left the club. He's gone to Yeovil on a free transfer. And that took us to the end of the transfer window. As you can see, there's the Connor Washington deal that we talked about. Would have loved to have brought him in. You can also see on the major failed transfers, we did try and bring in a goalkeeper, Gary Woods, from Bristol Rovers, but just couldn't agree wages with him because of the whole wage budget thing. If we could have got rid of 2 or 3 of those players who we were trying to get rid of, we perhaps could have brought Woods in, and he is a significantly better goalkeeper than Christy Pym. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. We were the most active side in the transfer window, though, bringing in 3 players and, of course, spent more money than anyone else, 325,000. And that's the story of England as a whole. So Chelsea bringing in Mbula from PSG, Nathaniel Klein went from Liverpool to Man City, and I don't know who he is, Thomas Fouquet, Leverkusen to Liverpool. And Chelsea spent £32 million, and Palace brought in 9 players. In the Championship. Seeing Palace were in the Championship piqued my interest as well. So I thought, well, we're four seasons into this save now. Let's have a look at some of the other league tables, see where everybody is. We usually look at the end of the season to see who's won the league, but we never really look at the league tables. So I'm just going to quickly flick through. I'm not going to go through them all in great depth, but obviously pause if you're interested in seeing what's on there. Notable new teams in the Premier Division, I guess. We've got Leeds, who are rock bottom, and Wolves are in there too. QPR are back up. Is there anyone else we wouldn't expect to be there? Probably wouldn't expect to see Sunderland still there, but other than that, that's the Championship. So Derby currently top. West Brom down in the Championship. Both the Sheffield teams in the top 6 in the Championship. Peterborough, a mid-table Championship side. They've been there a couple of years. That's all good. League One. Looks about right. Birmingham are down in League One. Wigan are still there. Other than that, looks about right. This is obviously our division, League Two. We're level on points with Scunthorpe, who are in the 3rd automatic promotion spot at the moment. Our goal difference is just nowhere near theirs because we're quite a negative side. We're only 1 point behind Orient though, so automatic promotion definitely still a possibility. And let's keep going down. So we'll look at the conference. York, roughly where we left them last season. We finished 6th last year. They're in 8th at the moment, only 1 point behind 6th, which shows we performed about to the level you would expect last season, which I don't know if that's good or bad, really. Looking into the Conference North, Boston, I've turned back into a mid-table Conference North side, so at least I can say I did overperform at Boston, which is satisfying. Lincoln, top of the Conference North, trying to fight their way back up to anything remotely like a respectable level for them. And this is the Conference South. Doesn't seem to be anyone in there that would be particularly surprising at this stage. That's the board's view of me at the end of the month. My job security is untouchable, which is mental, really, considering we're not even in an automatic promotion spot and we're way over our wage budget. But apparently Exeter are pretty pleased with what's going on. They like the fact we're still challenging promotion. They still don't like Ryan McConnell. It doesn't really matter now because he's probably not going to get a game with those 2 new players coming in. So let's get into the match. So this is the team that we're going to be playing against MK Dons. So we've got the 2 new boys in our back 3. I can't remember whether we renamed the Peg last episode or not. Someone did suggest it in the comments on YouTube because I just can't say the guy's name. This is the artist formerly known as Julio Pleguezuelo or something like that. The lad we signed from Arsenal, he's pretty much been ever present for us this season. He henceforth known as the Peg. He's going to be playing alongside the two new boys at the back, George Ray and Quaid Taylor. We're going to have Taylor in the covering position and the Peg and Ray as just the normal centre backs. Usual wing backs of Tilney and Gale. I'm really surprised that David Tutonda hasn't asked for a transfer. He can't even get on the bench anymore. He probably, when I joined the club in the summer, he was probably one of the best players at the club. Got injured early on, so we brought in Tilney, and now Tutonda just cannot even get on the bench, and just shows what can happen when you get an injury at an unfortunate time. Midfield of Marlon Packer, Sire Osborne and Sam Foley. I still maintain there's not going to be a better central midfielder in this division than that one. And then up front, we're trying something a little bit different today. We've got Lee Novak in his usual defensive forward position, but I've decided to push Koulibaly forward to play as a poacher. It's, again, the first time all season we've played with anyone on an attack instruction. It could lead to him being massively isolated and it not working at all, or it could mean we'll just be a little bit more threatening going forward. I'm getting fed up of having these matches where we don't even score, we don't even get a shot on target all game. A few people have suggested on the comments as well something I have been thinking, and that would be to sacrifice either one of the defenders or one of the midfielders to bring in a more attacking midfielder and start to drift back towards that diamond shape. It's there in the back of my mind. I'm reluctant to do it because it didn't really work when we tried it at the start of the season and we did leak goals. And if nothing else, this system is very, very secure defensively, and we're level on points with automatic promotion. We're massively overperforming. So yes, it's fairly boring football, but I don't want to go all out attack and risk throwing away our promotion push. So I'm not going to experiment with that too much. We'll give Koulibaly today as a poacher. If there's not a significant improvement, he'll go back to being a deep lying forward in the next match, just to keep him linked in a little bit better with the midfield. We do need to get rid of some defenders. We've got, on the bench, we've got Dean Winard and Ryan McConnell. And then we've got Miles Addison, Niall Canavan, David Tutonda. They can't even get on the bench anymore. We need to get rid of these guys. They're on significant money. They are first team players at this level. We've just got a lot of quality defenders, so we need to probably ship at least Addison and Canavan out of the club on loan ASAP before they start being disruptive. The team instructions we're doing today, we're going to close down more and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. I kind of want to drop, in fact I might drop deeper because that's taken us, see, we're accomplished when we have them off. I don't want to drop down from being accomplished. What happens if we drop slightly deeper? Are we still accomplished at the system? See, that doesn't mess with the system quite so much. If we then prevent short goalkeeper distribution, yeah, so we're not going to close down more because I don't want to mess around with too many things at once. So we're dropping deeper, we're preventing short goalkeeper distribution, and we're trying Koulibaly as a poacher. Plus, bringing two new centre-backs into the side as well. I think that's enough meddling for one day. Let's go and try and beat MK Dons. Ray's not as fit as I would want him to be. I might actually play McConnell today. Ray can make his debut another day. When we've got this many good defenders at the club, there's no point playing a guy who's only 76% fit. So we'll let him rest up on the bench. McConnell can play. Taylor still gets to make his debut. And let's give those two some squad numbers. So there we go. And let's get into the game. So we're the favourites. Quite a negative looking system from MK Dons. Not messing around with team instructions. Yeah, let's pick up where we left off. In fact, let's passionately pick up where we left off. Can we do that? No, we can't. How do we pick? Do we calmly pick up where we left off then? Is that the deal? I don't understand. Pick up where we left off. Is it in there? Let's ask the assistant manager to do it. See, he can do it. Why can't I figure that out? They're motivated. Let's just motivate the strikers a little bit. Particularly, I want a message for Koulibaly that I want you to go out there and grab us some goals. Well, he listened. That's enough. So, that'll do. I'm so rubbish at these team talks. Still, I don't really know if they make a difference. I guess they did, because when I shouted at them the other week, it turned it around. But it's so confusing. And I find myself being quite repetitive with it. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments about how best to use these team talks, because I'm certain I'm not doing it right. We're keeping hold of the ball nicely here. This is some lovely football. Gale got himself into an excellent position. How that wasn't a clear-cut chance, I'm not sure, but it was a corner. Oh, and the Peg nearly Nearly. We've had a shot on target though, and we're 5 minutes in. This is good stuff. And now it's all gone a little bit quiet, as is the norm for us. I want to really keep an eye on Koulibaly in these. I'm tempted to switch to an extended highlight, actually, just to see if he's finding himself really disconnected from the rest of the team, or if he is still roughly near Lee Novak. He's quite far in advance of everyone else on the pitch. It's not necessarily a bad thing, unless he finds himself really isolated. It looks like Novak's pushing up alongside him when we've got the ball, which I'm judging from one goal kick. I think that's probably plenty. That's probably how the top managers do it. They see where their positioning is on their own goal kicks. And we're drifting towards half time now. Oh, a highlight, but it's the wrong way. Hopefully, oh, what has just happened, Taylor? We've just spent £100,000 on Quade Taylor, and he completely missed that ball as it came past him. He needs to understand the strength and depth we've got at that position, and if he does that ever again, he will never come near this football club again. That was awful. Right, let's passionately go out and win this match. That's what we want to do. Is that going to motivate anyone? See, I don't know if delighted is a good thing. That'll do. Right, come on, let's go. Did it look that snowy and cold in the first half, or has that just come on at half time? We've had a half time frost. Right, Pack can't find Novak. We need to win the ball back here. This is why I wanted to bring pressing into our game a little bit. In fact, I might just add that in now. So we're going to have a normal defensive line, and we're going to press more. I don't see that dropping deep and pressing is something that would work well together. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments what you think, but it just seems counterintuitive to me. So we'll go back to a normal defensive line. We're going to press a little bit more and just try and win the ball back in midfield a little bit more often. We're very guilty of just sort of hovering on the ball with our defence, which I guess is the way we're set up. We're set up as a very counter-attacking system, but it would be nice to sometimes win the ball back in the opposition's half and create chances from there. That was a good shot from Pack. We've still not created a clear-cut chance, though. We are creating chances, which is more than usual, but nothing really clear-cut yet, and I might be looking to tweak Koulibaly's positioning shortly, because he doesn't look like he's getting in the game. He's not featured in any of these highlights yet. His average rating is way down there compared to the rest of the team, and it seems like the poacher experiment hasn't really worked. What should we do? Should we bring on Anton? No, we'll bring on McManus, because he's scored recently-ish. But we're going to switch him back to the deep line forward, which we've been playing all season. And we're going to take Quade Taylor off, because I think it's important that he realises he can't be as useless as he was earlier in that match. So we'll bring New Boy on. What's his name? Something Ray. George Ray. He can play 20 minutes just to say hello to his new teammates. Unpause the game, Kev. There we go. Right, come on. We need to get a goal here. We're much better than MK Dons. We're miles away from him in the league. I suppose this is one of those times where I should have brought on a more attacking substitution and perhaps gone for an extra midfield player or an extra forward and taken a defender off. Who have we got that we can push forward? No one, really. What can we do to try and get a goal in this football match? Right, I want to bring Anton Forrester on. And I think I'm going to bring him on for the peg. And we're going to do something that's probably going to see us get beaten. We're going to stick him up there. And we're going to... Right, I'm fiddling here. This is being made up on the fly. This could all go badly wrong. But this feels like it makes sense to me at the moment. Yep. Right, what do we do with you? You want to be a target man? Spot on. That's exactly what I want you to be. You need to be a bit more attacking. Yeah, why not be an advanced forward? You still want to be a defensive forward. We're going to go and push forward a little bit more. We are going to, why not go high tempo? Push the defensive line up a bit. This is going to be terrible. But, you know, we've got 10 minutes to go. What's the worst that could happen? MK Dons 21st, they could score. That's the worst that could happen. But, you know, we might score. And that would be awesome. That would make me look like a genius on YouTube, on a live com. And have those changes even gone through yet? I mean, that's within 10 seconds, isn't it? And we're talking 10 seconds real time, not 10 seconds Football Manager time. I pressed continue. I'm not even certain the changes had happened. I'm not sure if I'm accepting blame for that. I'm trying to see. That looks like we're still playing free at the back there. Maybe. I've wrecked that, haven't I? What a balls up. Right, come on, let's score now and show that I'm actually a genius. Right, come on. Right, Tilney, get across in. There's 3 big strikers in the box. We've got. Oh, that was just poor. McConnell does reasonably well, but doesn't win the ball back. Ray can't get there. We've really gifted this to MK Dons, and this is what I get for fiddling. I'm doing it again. We're in February, and I'm starting to fiddle. We carry on as we are. Yes, it's boring, but we're going to get promoted. I've thrown a point away today. That point could have put us into 3rd place. Oh, if we miss out by a point, and I've chucked it away today by fiddling when I didn't need to, I'm going to be gutted. Oh, that was our first clear-cut chance of the game after 91 minutes. Anton Forrester really should have scored there. So this system looks pretty good. Like it could be a system that could work if we fiddled and experimented enough with it long term. But I'm not going to go to 2 defenders when I've just signed 2 more defenders and we've got like 6 good centre-backs at the club. Kind of committing myself to 3 at the back for a little while by those transfers, and that is just annoying. Right, I'm going to shout at them. That is unacceptable. Yeah, too right. That was rubbish. And you're motivated. Magic. Okay. Right. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. And thank you very much for watching.